you stand apart. Your work stands apart because you give people a framework. And that framework is not something that you spoon feed. You allow us to sit, to journal, to ponder, to meditate on. So the difference with you is that it's structured. You have the 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 journaling first, and then you have the meditation that follows it. So it feels so much more complete.
Imagine discovering a pathway that cuts through the noise of trying to heal, to instead offer you a clear, revolutionary initiation into your most connected, abundant, loved, and purpose-filled self. A place where your dreams transform into personal reality. I'm Allura Halliwell, founder of the Consciousness Method, and it's with deep gratitude that I connect with beautiful souls who have already experienced this transformative method firsthand. They'll share how it has profoundly changed their lives and led them into inner truth. Hi, Jen. I am so excited for this interview. I cannot wait. This big chat, I should probably call it, because you and me will go chat, chat, chat the whole way through, I'm sure. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Allura. It is my pleasure to be here. Absolute pleasure.
It's been such a beautiful journey with you. And I just want to jump to the end point quickly, and then we're going to go all the way back to the beginning. But you are going to be a facilitator at the November retreat. You're bringing your beautiful medicine of yoga and the consciousness that comes with that. So I cannot wait to have you with me. We're going to be enjoying so many different aspects of exploring consciousness, and having you there and bringing your medicine is such a gift. People are going to need it because we're going to be moving all sorts of ways in our emotions and, in the field, and then to anchor in the body and to move through the body will be amazing. So thank you for joining me in that.
Oh, I feel deeply grateful, Allura. So grateful to be there. It is so interesting to, the more you get into this conscious work, the more things just naturally unravel for me, and I'm guessing the same for you. And this just feels so natural. It feels so potent and so important. So I can't wait as well to co-create with you. Woohoo!
Yay! We're going to do it.
It's funny, you attract those around you of like minds that are on the same frequency level, on the same energetic level. And I think that's happening more and more in my life. And I'm sure it's happening more and more in your life as well. And I think this is just a natural unfolding of that.
Oh, I love that. I love just the alignment that happens when you're in that zone of aligning to yourself and to something that feels really just expansive and really real, I think. And that's the thing I love about this consciousness. It's so real. It's not some sort of airy-fairy healing modality that you kind of pop in and out. It's like every breath in your everyday life. So I'd love to maybe backtrack a little bit and just share a little about your journey coming into connection together and into the space, and just unfolding so people can hear, because you're such a beautiful leader in your community. You own Kula Body, which is an incredible yoga studio in Sydney, in Turramurra, and you're leading, by doing the work for yourself as well. And I think that's just so important for all of us. I know I'm doing the work daily to keep, that vessel clear to be able to hold spaces for others. But I'd love to hear, because we came together actually at a retreat, which was amazing.
Absolutely. I was introduced to you by a friend of mine, and what made me reach out to you, I think, was our commonality around Kundalini awakening, because I didn't have anyone to talk to when that happened, and I didn't know anyone who had felt the same things that I was going through and feeling. So I really wanted to reach out to somebody else, and you just came into my field. So it was kind of perfect divine timing. So I'll probably speak a little bit about that just at the beginning. My experience first was in a float tank. Can you believe that? So I tried a float tank, and the experience was really ethereal, and the water became my body and the body became the water. There was a deep sense of alignment, integration between body, breath, and emotions in that time. And so I guess that was my first glimpse into that feeling. And then just one day I came home after a big day, and I grabbed my blankets and thought I'd just sit on the couch. And then it just came suddenly. I don't know how it happened for you, but it was just like in my body, like a roar. And oh my gosh, it's so hard to describe it, but so much of that feeling of luminosity, of vastness, of timelessness, I experienced at that time. And I think that opened me up to another completely different world. So much somatic resonance and a feeling, when you close your eyes, there's vibration, there's light, there's colors, there's like it's a magical wonderland when you go into that space. So I feel when you have a glimpse of that, when you have access to that, it's like you want to deeply stay there. When I did the work with you, what I felt was hard was because once you're there and you feel source and you're nudging up to source and you're saying, hello, it's like you don't want to leave. You don't leave. You're just like, oh, I just want to go home and I just want to sit in that.
Yeah.
How interesting is that?
Yeah, it's so powerful. It's really when my awakening happened, it was literally like being plugged into this epic power source that was just the voltage was on another level, but it was very, very kind of purifying and connecting to that divine aspect. And yes, it's quite addictive. Like you want to just kind of close your eyes and go in and just be in the source of it all. And it's such a gift to be able to go there. Right. And then I think it's the eyes open bit, right? That then it was like, okay, for me anyway, it was like, oh, okay, I'm totally good with my eyes closed. I can go everywhere through all space and time. But then I opened my eyes and I was like, oh, now where?
Exactly. So that's like happened to me as well, because when you're in that space, as you say, you reference it quite well, like there's no time, you're nowhere and you're everywhere and you're just there and it's just incredible. But then you go, oh, I was just there, now I'm here in my world. And in my world, I had children that didn't talk to me. I have boundary issues with or different people in my life. I had a mother that was distant. I had a father that I wanted to prove my worth to. So I had all these other things coming up for me as well in my world. And so it was like it was done back to front. It's sort of like, well, I had accessed source. I'd accessed that incredible somatic resonance, but then how do I translate that into my world?
Yes, that was so big, because I remember when we first chatted and you were so, you are so expanded in that place and it felt so resonant. And then you came into retreat and this divine like light that you're shining is so bright. But then there was this feeling that I could feel as well, this like small amount of separation that I was like, this is just the missing piece for the completion of that whole design. And I think you were so aware, like so deeply aware of all the things. And this is so powerful. You could see it all and knew it all. It was almost just like this interface between the two things was where you were sort of going, oh, how do I kind of match those up? The creation of the reality and the reality. And I was just in awe of how you were so there and so ripe for that final kind of piece in some ways.
Yeah, you're so right. I was, and I had been going on that journey, and I wasn't. I wasn't. I was afraid, and I wasn't afraid, because it takes deep honesty and deep courage to go into those spaces. And I'll share a couple of things in my life. So there was one thing I used to do. I used to go running in the morning in a bushland just around the corner from myself. And I used to run there in the day. And I was very, very scared to run there in the early morning when it was dark. And I remember thinking, no, there's nothing really different about running at 5 a.m. as opposed to running at 10 a.m., for example. And so I remember thinking, no, you need to go and run at 5 a.m. because it's only what you're putting in your head that's telling you it's not okay to run at 5 a.m. So that was a good experiment. It's like, I went running at 5 a.m. and the more I ran at 5 a.m., and the more I ran in the dark in the bush, the more I became less afraid.
Mm. Yeah, wow. It's so beautiful.
So that's why that's so relevant to this work, because I think the more you look at it for what it is, the less afraid you become.
Yeah.
So it's so potent as part of your journey. There's a nice little story also of a gardener. I don't know if you've heard this one, where he goes out into the garden and he sees a chrysalis where there's a butterfly in it, and you can see the butterfly trying to struggle and trying to get out the pinhole head at the top of the chrysalis. And he's like, oh my gosh, it can't get out. It needs to get out. And so he goes inside, grabs a pair of scissors, and he comes out and cuts the top. And then the butterfly just easily comes out. But the fly, because it needed that struggle with that small opening to get through to release the fluid from its wings. And so it could no longer fly. So it needed the struggle in order to be liberated, in order to transcend, in order to transform. So I think it's very interesting how consciousness has given us those two dualities within our, where we've got, the fear, and we've got the love, and we've got the bliss, but we've also got the pain and the worry and the anxiety. And it's all because we need that in order to see source as it is.
Yes. I love that, Jen. What a beautiful story. It's so true. It's such a portal, right? The pain's the portal, the fear's the portal, the stuckness is the portal. It's all just that perception of what it really is, as opposed to being a small hole. It's like, wow, that's our liberation. That's it right there. And we just need to be able to go through it and know where we're going on some level, which is so amazing to be able to, to be able to go on that journey and do it consciously. And then, and sorry, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say another way to, going back to that idea that in the soup of consciousness, you have those dualities. And I kind of thought about it like this is, say you've got a parsley. What we do as humans, we take the selenium out of the parsley and we strip the selenium, the water out of the parsley, everything else out of the parsley, and we're left just with the selenium, and we tell ourselves, take the selenium and we'll feel better. But within that parsley, you have 1,000 phytonutrients, you have vitamins and minerals as well, and they all work synergistically, symbiotically together. And so it's a very mutualistic relationship where both add value, all things add value together, and just one thing out, it doesn't work like that. It's very reductive. So you need to have the whole in order to have the full experience. And so when in your work, and you often say that we're trying to get back to the whole, But in the whole, you have the fear and you have the love, you have everything in the suit. You can't take them out and just say, I'm just going to be in love. Which happens with all yoga teachers. We're like, just don't feel it, just dumb it down, be in love, you'll be fine. And we want to push it away. But I love your work because you say, no, you've got to be in everything.
Oh my goodness, Jen, that's such a beautiful way to express it and such a beautiful analogy. And if you don't mind, I might use the parsley analogy again and attribute it to you, Jen Best. That was awesome. I love it so much. And that's such a great comment actually around yoga, teachers and other people in the healing space that want to take the good, because we want the good, obviously. We want to feel good. We want to be in love. We want to be in all the things, but we don't want to bypass to get there. And I love that you've just expressed that around the wholeness of this work, to take all the parts and pieces and merge them into that complete space. How has that sort of shifted your consciousness, maybe in the way you are in the space with your students, in the way you teach or the way you show up?
Yeah, very nice question. Very good question. How has it shifted my consciousness? I think I have shifted my relationship to reality. I have shifted my relationship to my internal template, as you put it. And in doing so, when you shift your relationship to yourself, then you shift your relationship to others. And yes, I think the yoga practice, though, to be honest, has helped me move into this more conscious space. So the yoga practice has been a very positive force in my life.
Of course, yes.
Yes, and there's a lot of different ways in which we can help people. So whether yoga teachers help people by asking them to be more grateful, for example, is that a good or a bad thing? I think ultimately it's a good thing because it's part of the soup. But those practitioners and the people that come into your class, how has it shifted? Going back to your question, how have I shifted as a result of that? Is yes, I have shifted my dialogue when I teach yoga classes now, because yes, we have to acknowledge the pain that everyone is in and the core wounds that that pain comes from. So I often refer to your work in my classes now. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, I feel so blessed and grateful, Jen, for that ripple effect. And then it just aligns with you to merge, because you're right. It's like the access point of the yoga and the body is so critical. And then it's almost like there's just this other part to kind of co-create with it, which I think is what is such an honor to be, working with you and creating with you, because there's like this blend, right? And then you'll bring yoga to the retreat, and then it'll anchor the body in the consciousness space. And then it just kind of co-creates, which is what I love more than anything. It's so powerful to do that.
Yeah, that's so true, and to say something about me is that I'm very kinesthetic. I'm very visceral. I'm very in my body, and the yoga practice has made me be in my body.
Yes.
That's why the energy that I can feel with heightened sensitivity. So yoga helps everyone to connect to sensation, to connect to breath, to connect through awareness to movement, and in doing so, heighten their awareness and heighten their sensation.
Which is so important when we're doing the pain and fear work, because we're really working with the body and how the body is expressing that as a sensation, or there's densities that we feel in our body that are so subtle sometimes, and we just have to be attuned to be like, oh, I'm curious, because everything's holding a consciousness, right? Those little niggles, those bigger pains, they're all holding some level of consciousness that wants to express to us. So having a relationship with that and having the sensitivity to go there is so important. I find there's, a percentage of people that come to this work and they're almost trapped from the neck down. They're very in their head and very in their mental body, and it's very hard sometimes to break that seal and get through that suppression, which is, a journey in itself, really, to invite consciousness through that suppression. But yeah, to combine the two is just really powerful, really powerful.
And just on that note, also, I just want to pay homage to your work around the nervous system as well. I love the idea of rather than suppressing the nervous system and trying to de-stress the nervous system, your take is that you strengthen the nervous system, you give it you give it power and capacity to hold the pain. How wonderful is that, Allura? Right? Is that, like, to think of it in that light, that is just life-changing, because we think the nervous system needs to, play small in a way, to be suppressed and just, oh no, put it to the side, just like with the pain and the fear and the worry and the angst and all the things or wounds that we have. But the nervous system actually should be and be able to be strong enough to hold it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, yes, Jen. And I just love that you're reflecting that in such a powerful way. I feel deeply passionate about the nervous system's role in limited reality creation. It is so painful to witness how constricting and how much survival the nervous system unconsciously puts us into. And then when we talk about suppression, and I go, eek, don't suppress that. Don't make it smaller even again. That's when we have the panic attacks and the depression rises and we feel this like blockedness in our lives. It's like, no, we need to blow that thing open in the most loving and nurturing and expansive way. We need to stretch its bounds and, yes, absolutely strengthen. So the capacity is there so we can be in creator mode, not in fear-based survival mode, because it's predicting threat everywhere. And I love that you've expressed it that way. I love that strengthening. It's so powerful.
Yeah. I mean, you say stretching, which I love too. I just thought of it in a slightly different way. And the nervous system is our friend, and it is there to help us move through this.
Yes.
Yes, this is a really nice way to look at it.
And I know that when we did some work together, there is, and you probably have seen me work like this with others, there's often this kind of invitation to go to places that maybe we feel like, oh, we don't want to go to, or it doesn't feel necessarily safe because we've coded it in our wounding. And then that's often where we get that stretch as well. And it takes us into the pain and fear at times, because we're like, whoa, to go there is going to have to break open my limited identity, and that's going to hurt. But at the same time, that stretch in reality by doing certain things that we would not normally do, that we haven't maybe even seen to do, has a really amazing capacity of opening that nervous system to life. How did that land with you, and how did you go with that? In yourself and in the work that you did around that?
So how did it land with me? Look, I haven't, it landed with me well, and the whole journey of moving into our own core wounds and pain is one that's continual, I think.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. Always open for evolution there.
And for the nervous system to support that journey is pivotal and critical. So I think it brings color into our life, don't you think? We just lived in source the whole time. So
yeah, well, it expands things and the potentials come through in such an amazing way. And I don't know if you're open to share about your journey in just the creation that came through unconsciously for you that, well, not unconsciously, but from consciousness in a way that wasn't even kind of created directly from you, but a way that you were actually opening to receive that in a new way?
So repeat that, to receive.
A new version of reality because you open consciousness.
Yeah. I was open to receiving a new version of reality. But only, I must say, only recently. So in my life, I was very linear up until I was about 40. I come from a banking background. I had an investment banker as a husband, and I was A-type. I was competitive. I was so many things, that I'm not today. So there's been a big radical shift in my outlook, in my thinking. And I think yoga actually opened that up to me, that way of being. So I do pay homage to that.
Yes.
And Kula Body has been instrumental in helping me raise my consciousness so I could help others raise their consciousness as well. So that has been a magical dance in my life.
Yes.
I am so blessed to have it and for it to unfold in such an incredible way.
Yeah, so magical.
That has been incredible too.
Yes.
And all the relationships recently, some have fallen away and some have got better, much better, particularly, there's been an opening there with my daughter, as you know, and then with my other daughter, that relationship is flourishing. The relationship with my partner now is flourishing as well because I've made changes there. So I think it's incremental. You just make incremental steps in this journey, and you kind of, each day there's a little bit of a glimpse in your awareness and you go, oh, there's a bit of gold there. I just saw myself do that. Let's have a look at that and let's shift that.
Yeah, I love that so much. Because it's so, I sensed for you there was like more potentiality in connection open through the process. There was more access on some levels to things that felt maybe quite fixed and quite difficult to like navigate. I feel like you cracked open your nervous system and also your consciousness to other ways of interfacing with that. And also ways of awareness that you had that I witnessed in you. You were like, there was some really beautiful level of another level of responsibility that you took on to see things that maybe you hadn't seen yet. And then it just seemed to open the consciousness in such a beautiful way. It was really profound to witness.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your kind words. Yes, agreed. Some of the patternings and the loops that I had adopted from my parents, for example, and that we all adopt.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone doesn't adopt.
No, we all do.
So finally, for 30 years, I think for 40 years, I'd been asleep to those patternings. Absolutely asleep. I've never actually turned the light back on me until recently. And now it's a daily process of turning the light back on me. And it is profound. It is life-changing. It is ineffable. I can't explain how it feels. I guess on the other side of that, there are days, and I've talked to Mel the other day, who's a teacher at my studio that's doing the work with you as well. And we said there are days when the fear and the anxiety do come in sometimes.
Of course.
But those days are less and less, and you have tools now to deal with them so they don't embed themselves deep within the psyche or the fabric of your being.
I love that so much. It's so powerful because, yes, we're going to have these moments of, separation, fear, overwhelm, all the things, but they're just going to be the times where we can pull the consciousness to evolve through that. And I suppose that's a really good question. How did you find that this is not just kind of like a thing, like, there's these kind of parts to it. It's actually a method. Like there's a methodology that we step through in the book, and in the process, there's like weeks of like processes to do and understand. Was that helpful to get a framework for how to meet some of these things that are sometimes a bit difficult to kind of analyze or work through?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I think you stand apart. Your work stands apart because you give people a framework, and that framework is not something that you spoon feed. You allow us to sit, to journal, to ponder, to meditate on. So the difference with you is that it's structured. You have the 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 journaling first, and then you have the meditation that follows it. So it feels so much more complete. So that structure allows you to immerse within it deeply. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you have so much material as well as the meditations. For me, as a meditator, long-term meditator, I need those meditations to integrate it within the tapestry of my body. Without the meditations, I think it would fall flat.
Absolutely.
I love your work because we can all journal. We all journal, and I journaled before, but you've put it in a structure that we can work with week by week, and that's the difference. And I love the fact that you give homework, and so it gives you something to come home to go, okay, I've got that to look at tonight, rather than, because otherwise it becomes washy, and if you don't have the structure, you'll kind of put it to the side. You go, oh, I've got something more important to do. But without that, it just really, really helped me anyway, I feel. And I'm still, to be honest, I'm still working through it.
Yes.
I think it's a lifetime thing where I will continue forever to work through it. Take the same form though. It might be just, I think the gold is your awareness muscle has changed, your observation muscle has changed. So you'll be doing something like washing up, and a thought will come in, you go, whoa. You'll be like, whoa,
Hold on.
we want to channel that into a different direction. And so you have the power now to channel it into a different direction rather than it become just part of your subconscious makeup. You now have that power. And that is what is so potent, don't you think?
Oh my gosh, it's so important. And for me, it's foundational. Like I want everyone to learn the modality so they can use it. It's intrinsic. It's like we use the processes and we learn like how to do it for ourselves. And then I want people to feel free and processing for themselves. There's so much around, dependence in the healing world and, having to, get things to make it all okay for everyone. And I think what I love about this work is once you really get the hang of the consciousness and you get into it and then you understand it for yourself, you can keep working on this and keep evolving yourself forever. It's like a process you can continually use. And that's what we want. We want that freedom, and that's so important for me. So I'm really glad you felt that as well. It's really, really important.
Yeah, I do feel that deeply. And then on the flip side of that, so we work on our internal self and our internal template, and then that light shines and others see that. And then you have the capacity and the ability to then help others move more towards that space.
Yes.
I'm really, really, from the very heart of me, excited about, because I stand in front of others often. And so to help them move into the space is my calling, really.
Yes.
Is why I'm here, is why I'm living in this lifetime. There's nothing else I would rather do. And it's just so funny. I am like you a bit, because people say to me, Jan, you need to stop. You need to not do it anymore. Why don't you take a break? And I'm always like, but I love it.
There's nothing else to do.
What else is there to do? And I think, well, what else is there to do?
Oh,
I can't believe, like, nothing else compares.
no, I absolutely agree, Jen. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Nothing else compares.
Nothing. When you're on this mission and you get what we're doing, it's like there is nothing else to do. This is it. This is the thing.
This is it. So I'm so excited to be in co-creation with you when it comes to the retreat, and to support you at Body. And so there are a lot of people that come through our doors, and we have been raving about you.
Oh my goodness, Jen. I am so excited because I'm coming back for a pattern shift in a couple of weeks, which is going to be amazing. It's a 4-hour experience that we did at Kula Body a little while ago. Now I'm going to do another one. And it's just such a great afternoon to really sink in and feel the work for yourself and feel if it aligns and what you need to look at, which is just to be in person and do it is the best. So I can't wait to come back to Kula Body and do that.
I can't wait either.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, you are welcome. And we do the best we can do to help people feel pain without becoming the pain, to feel fear without becoming the fear, to feel, shame, blame, all those things, but without becoming it. And I think that's big.
Oh, it's massive. When you can actually hold that safely without having to project it out or identify with it, it's just another level. You get to really, really free yourself then, because you realize that's just part of your wholeness, just merges back in, which is a relief and a gift.
Yeah, I think so. Yay.
Thank you so much for your words, your presence, your light, Jen. It's just an honor to share this time with you. And yes, if anyone's looking to do yoga in northern suburbs of Sydney, would you call it that?
Tarahumara.
Yeah, Tarahumara.
A great community. It's not like any other yoga studio in Sydney.
Beautiful.
Love coming. People are so vivacious, community orientated. There is definitely a feel and a vibe in the space that people in as soon as they walk in the door. So I am honored to be part of that space as well. It's interesting, when COVID happened, I was going to sell it. And then my partner said at the time, he said, you can't. You have deep responsibility. You can't sell it. And I was like, what? I can't. And oh my gosh, words of wisdom. I can't believe that and I'm so happy I didn't sell it, because it's a conduit.
Oh, powerful.
A powerful conduit in which we can help people move in understanding their true nature, understanding their true essence. So it is the path, I think.
Oh, the only path. Thank you so much, Jen. So much love, and I'll see you very soon. It's been an absolute pleasure to spend this time with you, and to say thank you, I'd like to share with you 3 beautiful meditations to explore your core wounding and a collection of masterclasses. You'll find these in your show notes. And if you feel the synergy to this path, know that it is available to you also.